Hello.
Hey Ricardo, I'm here. I'm just really sick today.
Oh shit, dude, you sound bad. You okay?
No, I'm not feeling very good.
The flu's going around right now.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's not COVID.
That's good. That's a bummer, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. Are your kids okay?
No, my daughter was sick and my son's not feeling good.
Oh man. Did you want to reschedule this morning?
No,
Okay.
you don't have to do anything. I just have to connect you. It's not hard at all.
Okay, cool. Let's see what this looks like real quick. Shit.
Hmm.
I'm just pretty much gonna thumb through some sketchbooks today, I think. Maybe do a little bit of drawing. So nothing too crazy. I'm sorry to hear that you don't feel good. That sucks, man. I hate that.
Yeah, it does suck. But I'm gonna play the intro video, and
Okay.
that's about it. Just text me when you need me to end the video event.
Okay, cool. I don't think I'll be on here for too long today, depending on who shows up.
Okay, my son has my phone, so just text me in the Zoom app.
Text you on the Zoom app. Okay. Let me sign in with my computer real quick, then
Okay.
maybe I can do that
Make
on
the
here.
host so that you can let people in, okay?
Yeah, it'll chime, right? And
Yeah.
then I'll be able to let them in
Uh-huh.
through my computer. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where the fuck is my email at? Sorry, I'm a little behind today.
It's okay.
And then I have my headphones. Hold on one second. Is that better? Nope. Okay.
No.
Okay, that should be better. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So the only thing is that I have my headphones through my phone, so I'll have to switch over to like which mode is it where you can do the two side by side?
Well, I mean, it is side by side. I don't know exactly how to do that.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Because my video's on.
That's cool. I'll just keep talking through the phone and it'll just pull up the drawings and stuff like that. That's the more important part anyway.
Okay.
That's fine by me. Cool.
I think I can spotlight 2 of your videos.
Oh, well, as long as other people can be seen whenever they're talking and stuff too, that's all that matters. That's gallery mode, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
My fucking phone is totally taped up to my light right now.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, it's something.
I can't do Bruno's thing tonight, so I think Gabe is going to cover it.
Yeah, Gabe just texted me for the first time in a while.
What did he say?
He said, have a good show this morning. I didn't get a chance to say thanks, but that was it. Dude, you need to be in bed, girl. What the hell?
Well, I am in bed.
You are right now. That's awesome. You are the Brute Squad.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that movie again sometime today. So just in time for Thanksgiving to be sick, huh? Isn't that fucking great?
Yeah.
Life of a mom.
Yeah, I still have to take care of my kids because my
I
boyfriend is
know.
out hunting.
He's hunting,
Yeah, he's been gone since Friday.
so his has to come home.
He's like 5 hours away.
Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, let's see. Is that better? Let's see where you can see it a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think that's it right there, right? Okay, that's cool. You see that
Yeah.
little raw sticker too, girl?
Yeah, I see it.
Oh yeah.
We've been making some big moves coming up.
Yeah, you were talking about that a little bit, man. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, I was telling Jason about it because I know that he likes Henning a lot.
Lex, what's up?
Henning Royal Tattoo.
Henning Royal Tattoo. Oh, is that an artist?
Yeah, it's like his idol.
Oh, okay. Okay, there you go.
We're working very closely with him now, and I'm going to interview him like probably next week at this point.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, and Mike Rubendahl and some others.
Oh, Mike Rubendahl, this dude that I used to work with has a sleeve on him. It's pretty bitchin'.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Dang, girl.
Yeah, I feel like a truck hit me in the head.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna grab some pencils and stuff real quick. Hang on one second, okay?
Okay. Your room looks really nice.
Are you there? What up, Jason?
What up, homie?
How you doing?
I am doing well, about ready to crush these dishes.
Nice. I'm not sure if we're live right now or not.
Let me turn the volume back up.
No, we're not live.
Okay, cool.
Lauren, my hero.
Good morning. I'm sick today, Jason. Otherwise, I'd be a little more peppy.
Gotta put some pep in that step.
You guys should see my daughter right now. She's adorable, first of all, but she's occupying herself in the kitchen watching like draw along videos that she's obsessed with.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's drawing a coffin right now. I'll send you some pictures of her stuff. Actually, let me see if I can
Coffin?
take
She is absolutely adorable, by the way. Like, bravo. Bravo.
Let me see if she wants to say hi.
Now let's draw a mouth for a vampire. I'm going to draw a big
Oops.
circle.
I've got OBS on.
Circle.
Ellie, do you want to say hi to mommy's friends?
So it looks more like a mouth.
What are you drawing? Can you tell us what you're working on?
I don't remember.
You're working on a coffin.
I'm working on a coffin.
Oh, that's
Nice.
cool.
And then let's draw the
Yeah, so she, I set cardboard here to my kitchen table. So all she does all day is just literally just draw. So,
Dude, that's so fun, man.
I like
That's
this
so
one.
radical.
This one's the Grinch.
And we'll draw an upside down
Who is it?
V
Oh, okay.
Nice.
on each side.
What's your favorite thing to draw, Elle?
Yes, that looks really scary.
Rudolph.
Yeah, now
Rudolph?
Rudolph, all right. Just in time for the holidays, too.
Yep.
White.
Yeah, she likes this.
Now let's add the ears.
She
We'll
watches
draw a
these all
short
day long
diagonal
if possible.
out, and
That's
then
Oh, that's so cool.
drawing
Yeah.
back in.
And then my
YouTube is
son's down
awesome.
here. See, I have him occupied. I got him with a bunch of blankets.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Very
Say
nice.
hi, bud.
Hi.
Hello.
Yep, he's occupied.
This is recording.
Oh, yeah.
This is recording.
Yeah. Yeah, that's them.
Nice place. Look at that. That's awesome. It looks great.
Yeah, we decorated like a little early for Christmas this year.
Dude, I did too. I got all like excited about it this year for some reason.
Yeah, I love the look in my, like by my fireplace and stuff like that.
Yeah, that looks fucking awesome. Looks all cozy.
I
Yeah.
still haven't even gotten the boxes out of the attic.
It's okay. Usually people decorate like this weekend.
Yeah, like the day after Thanksgiving is usually when I used to do it.
Yeah.
I have a the first year that me and the kids were by ourselves without my ex-wife, it was awesome. We bought like a little Slimer doll off Amazon, this little stuffed Slimer toy, and made it like the Christmas top, you know, like the star.
Yeah.
It's so fucking radical. I'll send you guys a picture today
You know what?
when I go back
That's
home
what-
tonight.
That's what I gotta come up with. I gotta figure out a tattoo machine tree top.
Dude, you can make it out of cardboard. You can make it out of, what if you made it out of the oh crap, out of the like Black Claw needle boxes. Right?
Dude.
Right? You can just like
I'll
literally
just have,
trade.
like, I'll have some needles on bar just hanging on like the individual branches.
Perfect, man. That's perfect. That's like a tattoo Christmas tree right there.
Right?
You
Yeah, you
could
could do what
literally just,
Jason did. The other Jason, remember Ricardo, where he just molded the machine and then you remember for the tattoo?
oh yeah. Yep.
That was pretty cool.
That was fucking cool.
But I don't know what type of materials you'd be using.
Could always use some super sculpty. I'd say clay. I could always make one out of clay. But that would be a little too heavy and a little too brittle.
Yeah, that's the thing. I like working with clay myself. It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Especially when you get some ghosts going on in the background.
Yo, that's my favorite type. I'll throw that pottery wheel.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Ricardo, by the way, did you see about that Waukesha thing? Because that's close to me and not too far from you.
No. What happened?
There was,
Oh, wait. The story that you posted. Yeah. What's going
Yeah.
on with that, dude?
Some guy, like it's like an hour, a little over an hour from my house.
Okay.
Some guy drove through a Christmas parade.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, and he killed 5 people, and then he injured like almost 50.
What? Did they find out what's going on? Did they
Yeah,
did
they
they
found him.
put him
He
in
was
custody?
out on bail, and like he's a shitty person and stuff like that. But like, geez, that's why I was gonna miss Bruno's thing tonight is to go to the Appleton Christmas parade with my kids. But
Uh-huh.
no, I mean, I don't think anything bad will happen. But
Dude, that sucks that you
Probably going to have more security at tonight's Christmas
Yeah.
parade than they
Yeah.
will anywhere else.
That's what I was
yeah,
gonna say. It's
that's
like even
true.
safer now than ever, probably. Yeah. I agree, Jason. Like they'll be like, yeah, no, that's not happening again.
It seems weird
But
though that it's unrelated to what happened in Kenosha with Kyle Rittenhouse,
hmm
but they're right at the same exact like Waukesha and Kenosha are very close.
dang dog. What the hell's going on out there, huh?
I don't know.
People are just losing their damn minds.
Yeah, I mean it's getting cold. You'd think that. I don't know.
I'm struggling to wake up and go to the gym, so I don't even know how these people have the energy to even think about doing something like that.
Whoa,
You know what I
whoa,
mean?
whoa, 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 whoa. Back up here.
Oh, okay. Here we go. I'm
Who
listening.
are you and what have you done with Ricardo?
I know, dude. Tell me about it. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. I really don't get it, man. I'm tired. Like I don't understand. It got cold this year, and all of a sudden I'm just like, whoa, where's my energy at, dude? Dang. It's really strange this year. Like the time change affected me hardcore this year too. Like I noticed it this time for the first time ever, which is fucking stupid because I don't even believe in that shit. But
You
yeah,
need
it's
more
fucking weird.
vitamin D.
I think you might be onto
Yeah.
something there.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a good point.
Dude, I take a vitamin D supplement every night before I go to bed.
Yeah.
It is an unbelievable game changer.
Dude,
you
maybe
put
I
it-
should try that.
Yeah. Do you put it in the freezer?
No, I get the gummies.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Seriously, that's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like two or three of those before I go to sleep every night.
Mm-hmm.
Never had an issue. Ever since I started taking vitamin D supplements, I've never had an issue with like, okay, it's time to get up.
Wow. Well, what
But
time
if
is
That's awesome,
that?
dude.
I stop taking it, that's when I notice I like just want to lay in bed for an hour, don't really do a whole lot. You know, I'm just
Yeah.
like,
You
all
sleep
day
with the
long.
blinds closed?
no, I sleep with them open.
Okay, so that's also another thing.
And I've got like 12 alarms set every morning just to make sure I get up on time.
Well, it's go time, guys, just so you know.
All right, I'll mute myself and shut my video off.
Likewise.
Can't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Still no sound.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty sure anyone that's tuning in has seen the intro before.
Invitational will
There
be
it
back
is.
with Tony Urbanek in Akron, Ohio. Now, if you guys missed that Paradise Tattoo Gathering, don't worry. Next October 20th to 23rd, the Paradise Tattoo Gathering will be back. Now, we welcome positive reviews on our channels and would love for you to follow us. But if you would like to host a Reinventing event or to sponsor our community, just send us an email to management@reinventingthetattoo.com. Now, I'm going to get out of here. I will be in the background reading off comments. I'll have my browser open to share inspirations and references. Let me know where you're beaming in from. Thanks to our growing crew of contributing artists, truly helping Reinventing reach more of the right people for the right reasons. Thank you for inspiring each other and everyone in our virtual Reinventing offices.
Alrighty. Well, I think we actually were live earlier. The preview stream before going live was not selected. So I think that everybody, if you got to see my daughter, awesome. She loves art. And yeah, always learning. I think that she likes watching your drawing group, Ricardo.
Oh, that's very fun.
Following some of your footsteps.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that it's getting put to good use.
Yeah.
Super talented. Just super talented.
Yeah, it's inspiring for kids to look up and see that art can be a career, you know?
Absolutely. I know that was one of the things that I feared the most whenever I was first starting to get into, that reality of becoming like an adult, quote unquote adult. You know what I mean? What do I do next? And all the jobs that I worked in that meantime between, deciding to quit and give this a full-time go. And from, being, I think I got my first job at 14. And my mom had to sign for me so I can get a job at McDonald's and stuff like that. I was just so eager to just work and make some money for myself and buy all my own shit. But yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool that she's getting started out early, man. That's awesome that she has that bug.
Yeah,
So,
she definitely has the bug.
That's cool, man. It's awesome to
Working
hear.
with my nephew yesterday, who's almost 14, and he's really starting to gain interest into Procreate.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, So I would think I'm going to show him some of your time lapses to give him an idea of, shapes and such like that.
Yeah, that's fun. Let me know if I can send anything else your way. I'd love to.
Yeah,
Be helpful if that's the case. Yeah, for sure, man. So yeah, like Lauren said, it's cool that you guys get to catch a little glimpse of the regular people that we are, just like you guys. We're just regular people here trying to help support reinventing the tattoo. We love being a part of it, so it's always fun to be able to give our experiences to you guys and get some feedback from you. We're always still learning as well. Just because we're on the screen in front of you guys every week doesn't mean that we know everything. I know for myself, especially, I always talk about this a lot. It's been a very handy and resourceful learning tool for me in so many different ways to be up here and put myself in front of all of you. You know what? Let me grab something real quick. I'm going to show you something that my daughter did whenever she was learning how to tattoo. Hold on one second.
Hi, my name is Jason, and I'm addicted to art. Is this the right Zoom?
Yep, you're in the right place.
Okay.
All right. So I get a lot of questions about things that, as from apprentices, especially, like, what do I practice on? You've always heard that traditional idea of fruit or tangerines or like oranges and stuff like that. That's cool. I know whenever I first started without any real guidance, I thought Baloney would be a good idea, just because I was like concerned about like the depth control and everything like that. And that's still back when I was using a coil machine. There's nothing wrong with coil machines, by the way. I still love them, but I've just, over the years, you kind of try to start finding something that's a little bit more efficient as far as not breaking down on you within 10 or 20 minutes of it running so excellent to, having to retune it sometimes. But I was still using coil machines and like 1/4-inch grips and stuff like that, like these pencil thin grips and everything like that. So my idea was Baloney. One of the things that I found that I came across was pig ears, believe it or not. And there's this preservative you can buy on Amazon that you can put in a mason jar and put the pig ear in there after you're done tattooing it. You can go to your local butcher and pick them up and stuff like that. But here's one of them. Let me see if we can get this in the light. Here's one of them that she did. We were talking about your daughter, Lauren, so I thought I'd show some of the stuff that my daughter was doing.
Yeah, I bet my daughter would love to see that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So that's Baloney.
No, this is a pig ear.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. When I was first learning how to tattoo, I was definitely using Baloney, but this is what I was showing her how to tattoo on. This is, I think, her 8th or 9th tattoo that she did.
Okay.
And then there's one more here I got. She was selling these because, she wasn't making any real money. So she was like doing these as practice and then would put them in these jars and would sell them to people, and people were buying them up. They love them. They were giving them away for gifts and stuff like that. So here's a little Japanese guy, the water demon, which is pretty fun. So from the back end, you can kind of see how the ear shapes out, how it's kind of contoured inside the jar. But I was trying to teach her, like, how to saturate skin evenly, the importance of line work, especially in this kind of a style of tattooing. And then the other one was more of like a feathered edge and everything like that. But we had a lot of fun with this. We had a lot of moments between us that we get to share our love for art and stuff like that too. So she hasn't been tattooing recently, and it'd be fun to kind of get her back into it because she started showing a lot of promise pretty early on. But she's 22, so we'll see how it goes. I think we can all remember being there at one time. If you are there, good luck. And for us that have gone across that bridge and can look back on the other side of it now, it's pretty cool to be able to see it from the other side and then see somebody that's close to you going through those same kind of things. So that's been pretty interesting for me. We got Jason here with us. How's it going, Jason?
What's up, bud?
How's your morning this morning?
I woke up. That's a plus.
That is a plus, man. It's a huge plus.
My morning's going pretty well.
That's good to hear.
Oh.
That's good to hear. That's cool.
I
Well,
was gonna make a joke about what to start out on, but then I thought, nah.
While you're doing introductions, Ricardo, my daughter said she'd like to share her drawing with my friends.
oh, let's check it out.
Okay, one sec. Hold it back a little bit, and you'll have to explain what materials you used. Go ahead.
It's paper, and it's a
What is it, Ellie?
what's
Not sure what it is.
that thing that has
A tomb?
no?
Coffin?
Oh yeah, it's a coffin.
Cool. That's really pretty.
Ellie, what's your
I like
favorite thing about art?
That it can cut.
You can cut? So do you think that you'd like to be an artist when you grow up?
Yeah.
Yeah? You know, these guys are tattoo artists. You know?
Yep. That's so cool looking. I like it a lot. You did a great job.
Next thing you know, she's gonna be scrubbing tubes in the back and running you stencils and
Yeah, definitely. That'd be awesome.
You're gonna make a family business out of it.
right.
Are you ready? Are you ready to
Very-
tattoo, Ellie?
Very nice.
Be a tattoo artist one day? That's what you like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boy.
That's
All
awesome.
right. All right.
Thank you for sharing with us.
Dave, you're welcome.
Go.
All right. How radical is that, man? That's so rad. So sweet.
I think at the end of the day, she'll remember these moments. Like everybody has that. It could be a series of moments, but a moment where it clicks and you realize that this is the industry you want to be in. This is the life that you want, and you just go with it.
Yeah. You have
Yep.
to embrace it all in. This is not one of those like, you know, careers or industries where you can only have 1 foot in and 1 foot out, you know, and I think that's something that I know a lot of people around me, they're like, oh, I want to learn how to do it just so I can do it as a side gig. And I'm, you know, it's like, but why?
Yeah.
You know, but why would you only want the greatest career in the world, right? To be a side gig?
Oof, that's a good question, man. You know, I think a lot of it has to do with like an experience kind of thing from a person's point of view. Whenever they're not really sure what it is that they're doing, or maybe they think it's just cool. You know what I mean? And they just want to be part of something cool for the time being. But I agree with you completely. Like, I would not want this to be part-time at all. Like, this is my life. You know what I mean? It's pretty wild.
Well, do you think it has something to do with people getting trapped in the idea of, you know, stability and consistency, and trapped in that kind of a mindset where they get the idea drilled into them when they're younger that, you know, you need to have this, you need to have that, you need to be putting away for retirement, and, you know, which, don't get me wrong, I do firmly believe is a very important thing to do.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, you need consistency, you know, there's no career in art, you can't make a ton of money, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but there is.
Yeah.
Do you think it has anything to do with people's inability to, you know, kind of how Amy said, to work with people? Like with a lot of art, traditionally there are canvases that don't speak, and your people skills, social skills aren't necessarily put to the test. Maybe they have a lack of confidence in that.
Well, that's why they have gallery curators and stuff like that, right? Those are the people. You know, those are the people that trained in how to deal with people so that the artists don't have to.
Good point.
Yeah, you know, that's a very valid point. It's almost like the curator might even be the salesman, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like trying to make that sale, because somebody can look at a piece of art, know that it affects them somehow, and there might be a price tag on it where they're like, I'm not too sure if I like it that much. You know what I mean? And like my experience has been some of those curators are the salesmen. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, like any other salesman, they can study what it is that they're talking about, so they know effectively and efficiently what it is that they're displaying and what it is that they're trying to sell for the artists and everything like that. But
well, they are salesmen.
right, exactly.
That's their job.
Right. And
they get a commission off of what they sell for the gallery, and the gallery gets a commission off of what they sell for the artists. Right.
Yeah.
And that can be an outrageous amount of money.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're talking a 50% commission rate to sell one painting.
Yeah, that's a bummer. So it can
Right.
be
While
a
we're on
bummer
the topic,
sometimes.
guys, Tiffany, thanks for watching. She says people could be harsh when you're trying to learn. So thanks
Yes.
for watching, Tiffany. Thanks for watching, Bruno, as well.
That's
Yeah.
so Tiffany, that's why we joined this group. Like,
Yep.
we're here
Perfect,
to
Jason.
support each other and to help empower each other and to encourage each other. We're not going to rip anyone down. You know,
No.
that's not what we do. We don't believe in negativity. It's just,
Yeah.
life's better that way.
I agree completely, man. You're supposed to use this as a learning resource. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be able to open yourself up and be around people that are going to constructively criticize you, not just bash you and tell you that you suck and stuff like that, which there are people that do that and stuff like that. And if that's your thing, whatever, you know what I mean? Go for it. But not mine, and not this forums either. And that's one of the things that I've learned here for sure. And I think to talk about what Tiffany's saying is that, like, that's exactly it. You know, like, I think one of the things that keep people from becoming tattoo artists is that vulnerability. Like, I know whenever I first started talking to people outside of friends that I already knew, it wasn't going to happen. It never happened. I was just quiet. People thought I was a dick or something like that, but I was just quiet and just sitting back, reserved. And I had to start communicating. I had to start talking to people, and you have to, like, develop some people skills, so to speak, you know? Like in the Fifth Element, if you want to come out of that box, you're gonna have to start learning some communication skills, you know. But it's true. This pushed me so much, and I think the other thing that keeps people from doing it is, going from a regular job to this is the fact that you have to pave your own way. You know, you got to kind of be responsible for your money. You got to be responsible for your time. How you manage your time is a big one, and I know as artists, a lot of us are what I would call it like a professional procrastinator. You know what I mean? Like, you spend so much time thinking you're going to do something, thinking about a drawing, but then when it comes down to it, you are already done and on to something else. You know what I mean? So you never even started what it was that you had set out to accomplish. So that can be a lot of it too, I think. But what do you think, Jason? How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, putting yourself out there is definitely something that you have to do. It's one of those, that is a part of the criteria of being an artist and being, and not just a tattoo artist, but being an artist in general. That is part of your criteria. Painters, sculptors, people that are these super famous, artists that have their stuff up in museums all over the world. They didn't get that. It's not like someone stumbled into their house one day and said, "Oh my God, you're a phenomenal artist. Let me put your stuff in a museum."
Yeah.
No, they were putting their stuff out in gallery shows.
Yeah.
They were going and talking to other artists saying, "What can I do to improve my stuff?" They're going and they're trying to learn the right way to do things. So that way, when it comes down to the time that they get a commission for a portrait, like Picasso, right? They get a commission for a portrait. They have the confidence to say, "Yes, I know how to paint a portrait. I've studied with this person, this person, this person, this person, and this person. I know the fundamentals. I know here are some of the smaller examples of what I can do." Yes, those are very rough, but I have learned quite a bit since then. When you can turn around and have that confidence to say, "Yes, I can do that." That is something that you only achieve, and you only get that by putting yourself out there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There are going to be people out there that beat you down. That's life, right?
Yeah.
Life is going to beat you down. Life is going to throw 1,000 things at you.
It's not
the question
fair.
is, can you stand back up?
Yeah. It's not how many times you can get hit. It's how many times you can get hit and get back up, as Rocky Balboa would say, right?
Correct.
Yeah, man, for sure. I agree with you completely on that, Jason. Another one is like finding out that there's some sacrifice to a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? We've talked about this before several times. I know when I first started out, I knew that every job that I ever had was not the right place. Something just kept telling me, like, this isn't it, man. This isn't it. Like, granted, they were all just, what you would call just like working at a grocery store in high school and stuff like that, a fast food restaurant. You know what I mean? I think I worked at like a printing place where I printed up paper for a while, just junk mail. And then I did,
Weren't you a
railroad
part-time
cars.
stripper?
That was more of a lifestyle than a job, dude. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Understand.
so that's a different
Figured
story
that.
altogether. So like, but what I did realize at the time is that I didn't want to do any of that stuff. It wasn't right. It didn't feel right. Something just kept telling me don't stop here, just keep going. Don't conform. You know what I mean? I felt like there was this conformity that was happening and I didn't want to be a part of that. And once I found tattooing, it changed my life. But the thing of it is that to get to the sacrifice portion of this is I used to skateboard and I loved it so much that when I realized if I fall and hurt my wrist, this is going to be pretty damaging to my tattoo. It could be pretty damaging to anything that I do with tattooing. I loved it so much that I almost didn't tattoo because I wasn't sure if I wanted to quit skateboarding. You know what I mean? And it was a real big dilemma for me. And I had to make that choice. And like you're saying, you have to, whatever you might call it, that next step, that fucking blind leap, that leap of faith even. I used to hear that term so much and scoff at it and like just get kind of testy with it because of that term leap of faith. But it's entirely true. You got to kind of close your eyes, cross the line, and then just go with it from there. Be open to anything that might come up after that because it's all new territory for you. And even though somebody might have been there, somebody can walk you through the first few steps of how to get there or what to do afterwards. It's still a personal journey and it's still going to affect you in a much different way. There might be road signs that you can pay attention to, but there's still going to be a very personal journey and very unique and tailored just to you, So I think you have to be conscientious of that as well. So I think that's another thing that might keep people from crossing over into this world, and it's a very popular thing right now.
How would you compare that with it, given its popularity? How would you compare it? Fast forward or rewind, however you'd say. Like if you were the kid you were today, in today's industry versus in the 90s.
Oh man, I don't even know where to start with that one. How would I compare it? It's way different. I mean, knowledge is so accessible right now, even with this forum that we're talking on right now, like this wasn't there. You had to walk into shops and literally do face-to-face stuff, and put yourself out there in a very vulnerable position in order to get told no, or to get told to go back to work, or, you know what I mean? Or your art isn't good enough. And it was a very different atmosphere at that time too, man. Like, tattooing and the tattoo industry was the way you entered in was normally not based off of your art. A lot of times it was based off of the people you knew or how long you've been hanging out at the shop or how you knew how to manage clientele even, you know what I mean? And it's pretty crazy to look back on that and think about it now. So, oh man, I think.
Do you think it would have been easier or harder to enter in today's industry?
Harder.
Harder today?
I think it would have been easier today. I'm sorry. It's way easier today. Yeah, I think it's way easier today. I think there's so much knowledge now that it's easy for somebody to, if you're interested enough in something, you're going to find a way to do it, right? Like the guy that did Burt's Bees, for example. I watched this documentary on the dude from Burt's Bees. Older guy, got married. His wife took everything from him. The only reason that you even see his face is because he's the one that started the company, and everybody became so familiar with that, him as the product. Before he started doing any kind of cultivating of bees, he had no idea what the hell it was. So he went into the library, picked up some books, found out how old this tradition really was. It goes back to the Egyptians even, and the Syrians, I believe. And he just learned everything he could from books and started taking this honey and started making all these byproducts off of it. You know what I mean? And like did it all on his own with everybody telling him, you're crazy, you can't do this, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But he knew that there was something that told him that that's what he had to do. The dude's amazing. He ended up losing the company, but got a settlement out of it. And it was so cool to see how he lived after that too. Like the dude had a house built, but there was no electricity in it, no running water in it. He would boil his water every day by a wood burning stove and stuff like that. It was so humbling to see that. And so like relatable. Like I love that. I love that story about that guy. But yeah, I would say that if you nowadays, if you really want to do something like learn tattooing, there's so much information there that all you have to do is invest yourself and your time and find the right group of people and start asking the questions and the things that you don't figure out on your own. So if that answers the question, then that's the way I think about it. So yes.
Yeah, definitely. I think that
Can I
today.
chime off of that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so number one, I totally agree. I think that, say back even in the 90s and 80s, it was a lot harder to initially break in. But once you got into the industry, because there weren't quite as many, artists out there that were doing that, or, really pushing the bounds, really putting out a quality product, it was pretty easy to move up the ranks. It was pretty easy to go through and be recognized as a quality artist. Right? Yeah. However, in today's world, it's a lot easier to get that information and to get started on a path. But you really have to work 1,000 times harder just to get any amount of recognition for the work that you're doing, so I find it to be a little bit more difficult to really push the bounds, to really make a name for yourself nowadays, as opposed to back in the 90s where, if you were doing something really, really awesome, well, people were going to recognize that. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, there's so many talented tattooers, it's ridiculous.
Do you think it's more rewarding today to be a star to your client, or to be, is it more rewarding to be a star to a bunch of people you don't even know?
Oh, I think, can I go first, Jason?
Yeah, by all means.
I think that ends up being a personal opinion as far as the answer that can be given. I don't think there's a right or wrong, or a one is better than the other. Personally, I think that it's better to be revered by clientele than it is people that you don't know. You know what I mean? I think we seek notoriety so hard that you're putting out the wrong energy into it. I think if your goal is to be recognized and be like notorious for like you're the best at this, I think that's really the wrong way to go about it. I think artists that are revered, like, let's see, who was it? Van Gogh, for example, supposedly didn't sell a painting his entire life, but now his work is priceless. And it's like, it's taught us so much about art and like what we can do with paint and stuff like that. I think people that end up becoming really well known for something or doing a good job for somebody as far as tattoos go, I don't think that you set out to become that. I think it just kind of comes along with it. I think you end up kind of falling into it. What do you think, Jason?
So, well, I think I agree. I think it all depends on what the individual wants to put the emphasis on. I myself, I really don't care what social media thinks. You might have noticed, I rarely post anything. And if I do, it's usually to my story, and it's usually to advertise something else, or it's something funny. Yeah. That's because I'm not trying to become social media famous, because I know quite a few artists that are out there that are social media famous. Yeah, they're making great money, but they're really not putting out a quality product. Yeah. And if you're not putting out a decent, solid tattoo, that is refined where it needs to be refined, where it's vague where it needs to be vague, if you are not putting out a quality product, then, it's very easy to turn to social media and say, hey, social media, give me your money, right?
You think people are becoming too sidetracked with social media, and that's why it's like...
Oh, absolutely.
How could you really focus on tattooing if you're so concerned about everything that happens in a fake virtual world? If you're spending 4 to 5 hours making one TikTok video, that's 4 to 5 hours you could spend drawing. That's 4 to 5 hours you could spend painting. That's 4 to 5 hours you could spend improving yourself. Right? Very good point.
Yeah, man. for sure. Wasted quote unquote
Everyone's
time,
given
right?
the same 24 hours in a day. The question is, where are you investing that time?
Yeah, exactly. I saw something the other day. I can't remember where I read it, but it said our reality becomes what we see and what we decide to be around. You know what I mean? And like, and what we read for sure. And like our perception and our reality is created just solely based off of what it is that we keep watching or what we keep surrounding ourselves in. And like, I think to your point, Jason, if that's all your concern is, and that's going to be your entire reality, just being the coolest person with the most likes and stuff like that. And like, I don't know, for me, it's not really my thing either, man. I want to draw, you know what I mean? I just want to draw. And the ability to be able to meet people in this industry is fucking incredible, dude. You know what I mean? We just met Thea Duskin at the BYOB this year. You know what I mean? I'm hanging out at Maggie's. You remember Maggie's? I took you there to eat when you were here visiting me.
Yeah.
I went down there to eat. I got an Irish breakfast and a beer. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there, and this lady that I know comes in. She walks in. She introduces me to this guy, Rob. Well, Rob's a tattoo artist from Buffalo, New York, and he ends up working at the same shop as Thea Duskin. That's simple. That, and then Bloomington, Normal, Illinois. You know what I mean? Like, the town isn't very big. It's in the middle of Illinois. You know what I mean? And here's this guy that is and somewhat related to this lady. That's a really nice woman, a really awesome tattoo artist, and there we are talking. And there's that connection. You know what I mean? First of all, it shows that the industry is a little bit smaller than what we think. And secondly, it's just that ability to that this environment creates. So you got to treat it well. You know what I mean? You have to treat it with respect and appreciation. And what better way to do that than by pushing yourself, pushing your limits, and learning more about your craft. You know what I mean? So
Can you imagine if the guys in the 2000s or whatever in the industry were MySpace famous, and then MySpace is gone? So what are they?
Right, exactly.
If you replace the word Instagram with like MySpace, it makes it easier to digest.
Yep. You know, I was just talking about
too
that.
much stock in social media. You know, let's do a quality tattoo, and the word will travel.
Yes. Yeah. Word of mouth. Word of mouth has been one of the most important things for me as far as becoming a little bit busier, right, with work, and like the ability to be able to create my own space, and people are comfortable walking in, and I don't have to, like, you know, prescribe to the what a tattoo shop looks like or how it's ran or the hours or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like you create it, you make a good product, you make a good tattoo, and people are definitely going to come no matter what, man. And especially when they see it, who did that? Word of mouth, dude. You know, sales. I think I was talking to Lauren about this one day. I said that, you know, I feel that advertisements is like ruining our culture. You know, it's destroying our culture entirely, dude. Like the internet is ran by these, you know, capitalist companies that just push product down your fucking throat at any given chance that they can. You know what I mean? Even now, dude, my TV's connected to the internet, and it has asked for updates every other day. And now they're starting to show advertisements when I first turn on my TV. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And it's everywhere. I think
I do want to say, I do actually like the accessibility feature a little bit more.
Okay.
You know, where things are a little bit easier to access, and we do have other companies that we can shop around between, you know, to get the best price. I do appreciate that, as opposed to, you know, back in the mid 90s when, you know, the big secret out there was the catalog, right?
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Right. And that catalog was kept in the back room of every studio. And you had to call up the guy from the catalog and whisper a secret password and have like a secret handshake. And then they would call 6 people to verify you.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then they could sell you something, right?
Man, I don't know that guy.
Yeah, it's like, I've never heard of him. I don't know why he used me as a reference.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks. So we need.
You know what's funny is even a lot of tattooers today weren't even born in the 90s.
Yeah.
But tattooers are becoming.
Way to make me feel old.
No, I was born in the 80s myself, so it's just crazy.
Yeah, it is wild, isn't it? I know that's been a pretty fun thing for me lately. Is I've been tattooing some clientele for, you know, well over a couple decades, and like I'm starting to tattoo their kids that are turning 18 now, and it's fucking incredible. You know what I mean? And especially the clients that bring in the pictures of when I was tattooing them way back then. I was, first of all, like 2 babies tattooing each other and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And here I am tattooing their little baby. It's fucking hilarious, dude. Pretty fucking funny. But you know, to your point, Jason, you're right. It is a pretty cool. It's a very big. There's like a dynamic duality there, isn't there? You know what I mean? Because it's like a double-edged sword, kind of, so to speak. You know, and like it's definitely one of those things where it can be beneficial, and at the same time, it can be kind of damaging. You know what I mean? I guess it's like everything else. It's what you choose to do with it and how you choose to manage it, and like let it be beneficial or you know, take up your time and waste time that you could be spending on something else a little more productive. I mean, shit, dude, even as simple as like sitting down and having a conversation with your family, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? Like the people, we're so immersed in our phones that we'll be sitting in the same room and there's like, you know, there's so much space between us, but we're in the same physical space, but everybody's on their phone, not even talking to each other at all. Pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. I was just talking about this with a friend and I said, oh, how did I say? I go, man, there's you know, Facebook Messenger, there's Instagram messages, there's text messages, there's emails and stuff like that, dude. It's like we do the same thing in all those different platforms that we would do in just one area. Just email me. You know what I mean? Like, why do I have to manage all these different accounts just so like, you know, we can talk to each other and stuff, dude? It's crazy, man. It's wild. I don't know.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, but you know, I mean, think about it like this, right? MySpace died, right?
Yeah.
Facebook's on the outs.
Yeah.
You know, Instagram's probably going to follow shortly after Facebook goes.
Yeah.
You know, TikTok's going to follow after that. Whatever comes after that will be after that. You know, so all of these social media platforms are going to lose favor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why, you know, I have an automatic reply set up for Facebook where it's like, hi, thank you for your message. I'm probably tattooing. You'd probably have better luck if you just sent an email to, you know, and put my email address down.
Right.
So that way it's basically letting people know, yeah, I appreciate the fact that you sent me a message, but I'm probably never going to read this. You know, so you might want to turn around and take that same message and send it to me in an email. And if you're willing to send me the email, I will respond. But if it's a message like, hey, how much? You're not going to take the time to send an email.
Yeah, that's always the funny one. That's always a funny one for sure. How much for this tattoo? 3 by 3 inches. By the way, anybody that's watching this, it doesn't make any sense to us. It doesn't make as much sense to us as it is you trying to find out a price for that tattoo. We're not going to know either because we have to see it in person where they kind of talk to you about things, placement. There's all kinds of things that are involved with that. But just to let you guys know. I can
do some pretty intricate 3 by 3 tattoos.
Right.
And they could take me a long time.
Just 3 by 3s, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But that's usually how I get down to. I just go, yeah, you know, this menu option is 6 by 6, and this one's like, you know, 5 by 7. But yeah, no, just joking.
There's an artist on Instagram that I love watching his reels. I think I sent you guys one with the alcohol and the green soap. I think I sent it to both of you.
I'm not sure if I saw that one. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got a lot of funny videos about just going back and forth with the TikTok style about pricing that I will have to pull up and show you guys. It's really funny.
Absolutely.
I will say this. I appreciate TikTok for the absolute pure comic gold that it has been able to put out.
Yeah,
I mean,
there are
really absolutely hysterical stuff on there.
There is some pretty funny stuff on there. There's a kid doing cursive, like he's speaking in cursive or something like that, you know, since cursive, a lot of people aren't teaching cursive and stuff anymore. That's pretty funny. It sounds like he's kind of drunk talking about it, but anyways.
I thought speaking in cursive was just when you were drunk.
Right. That's pretty much it. I think that's what it is. But except for he just like writes things in cursive and then reads it off. It's pretty good. I don't know why I found that fucking funny, but maybe I was drunk at the time too.
I mean,
Hey,
no,
do you guys mind if I switch gears real quick?
No,
Even though this is your show, Ricardo.
no.
I just wanted to. There was a man that I found extremely influential. I found him during COVID, and he passed away last week, and I was just deeply saddened by him.
Oof.
I wanted to just share for anybody watching that's looking in for fine art, references and stuff. I'm going to share the screen here. His name was Dennis Perrin. I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with him. He's just absolutely phenomenal man. And sadly, he passed to cancer recently, and I'll show a couple bits. But with someone like this, it kind of brings into perspective, what does a legacy mean in your art? I mean, he was a painter, he wasn't a tattooer. But if you put all your time into this social media bullshit that goes away, how do you leave a legacy like this?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
this
incredible work.
absolutely incredible human being, and it's just such a shame that he's no longer with us. He had the personality almost like Bob Ross, super positive, very quaint,
And his work is powerful too, and so soft
beautiful,
and subtle.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
So if anybody wants to check it out, they have their atelier here with a course that I used to take, at home during COVID, and it was monthly stuff that he would do, and it just absolutely very impactful. And what his main thing is about unleashing your artistic genius.
Nice.
And I think that
Definitely.
it becomes so difficult to do those sorts of things when you're so tied up in how other people perceive you or whatever it may be, when you forget that the legacy is the art itself.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from your personal contributions, but
No, that's definitely I agree with you completely, Lauren. It's like let the art speak for itself. Follow through with like the fact that he's a positive person is awesome to me. You know what I mean? I've come from such a different place in my life to be where I'm at now. It's I can definitely notice that there's a very big difference in your mindset for sure, and the way you allow things to kind of affect your opinions and your decisions, you know what I mean, as far as your emotions and stuff like that goes. So that's awesome that he was pushing so much positivity and like kind of sharing that knowledge and stuff like that. But I think Jason and I have gone back and forth about like museums, art museums and such. And I know in Philadelphia they have several different artists displayed there. There were some lithographs that were printed a few centuries back, and you look at the ages of these people, and you find out how old they were when they were creating these giant wall-sized lithographs. They're like 19 and 20 years old. Like, granted, there was there's like this idea that there was less distractions at some point in time, but the fact is that like no matter what point in life you're at or whatever it is that is available to distract you, it's your choice still, right? So like something that might not seem so distracting to us now versus the things that were distracting to people of that time period, it's still the same thing. So the fact that these people were doing these huge pictures, like masterpieces, like at such a young age. Like, how old was Dennis when he passed away? Was he an older guy?
I don't know. I think he was in his 60s, maybe 70, probably 70s. But if you have a chance to read any of his words and the things that he says, it's very, like I said, very impactful. Even though he was a painter, his practices and words could be applied literally to any form of art or life in general.
That's awesome. It's awesome. I definitely have to give it a check. Definitely have to check it out. I love stuff like that. I think what I wanted to do real quick is let's see, what time is it? 9:47. I still got some time. I wanted to talk about the whole vulnerability thing again. I know I've talked about that a lot, but and I also talk about what it is and what it takes now that we're on this subject about becoming a better artist. And like we're always pushing ourselves, we're always telling ourselves we're not that good, we're not good enough. There's always something about our pieces, for me anyways, that I look at and I'm like, I could have done that a little bit better, and that needs to be stronger. And what is it that I need? And I found that opening myself up to critique, especially by Jason and Kier and Guy and Bruno, you know what I mean? It's been incredible. Everybody on the Reinventing tattoo forum, whenever we're sitting there in the Zoom calls with Guy, and we're all looking at each other's work, it's been incredible. And it's changed my art so much. in the past year. And I just thought I'd kind of skim through some sketchbooks here because I talk about the importance of what it takes to become quote unquote better for yourself or better at your artwork is sketchbooks. You know what I mean? So I thought I'd kind of share some stuff here with you guys. Let me see if I can come down here a little bit lower so you can see a little bit more of this. Try to get in a little bit more. Some of these things are a little older. Some of them are a little bit more up to date. But we'll start out with a couple of these guys. This is a notebook that I have. It's all lined and everything. I don't know if you can see them. It's a drawing that I did just kind of hanging out. One day when I was just sitting there drinking, I think I had some coffee or something like that. I rarely drink coffee, but I was just sipping on some coffee. I figured I'd draw, what two of the things that I like a lot is a skull on a bird. So I just threw it into anything that I could grab. This one was pencil and paper. It was in 2019. This one is a charcoal drawing that I think I shared with the guys the other day. It's like a kitsune. I did this one as a tattoo, and I don't have a picture of the tattoo. I have to see if the client can send me one at some point. Now, this is charcoal on paper. This is kind of around the time that I started messing around with charcoals on paper. And then today, while we were talking, I was messing around with some of this pen, this pen ink, and just drawing some waves and everything like that. And then the marker down here at the bottom. Did some pen, doing some like shading, some lighter tones and stuff like that in here. Let's see what we got. You can see some of it is just still like garbage to me. Like to me, it's like it's something that's real loose still. I lost interest in this one, and I just moved on. Let me see. There's I think you can see. I don't know if you can see that one. Nope, can't see that one. So we'll just move on to that one. There's another one that I did for a tattoo. There's another charcoal on paper. There's a lion fighting a snake. I drew it huge, and then I was kind of disappointed because the guy I wanted to try to do it as a sleeve, but the guy ended up wanting to do it just like on the top part of his arm. So he ended up making a half sleeve out of it. And I had to simplify a little bit more of it since there was so much detail in it as this size. That was pretty fun to do. I'll show a couple real quick. Let's see here. But it'd be fun if you guys could maybe we can do something where we can start a sketchbook thing. I know they do it in like October, like an Inktober thing. And that's always good because sometimes you lack some inspiration and everything like that, right? But it's always good to, this one is terrible, to continue to draw no matter what. So maybe we can all just kind of share some sketches and stuff like that. Let me get this going. All right, there we go. This is a pretty terrible sketch. Change. I drew change everywhere because I didn't like it at all. Another skull bird. Let's see, this one's pretty fun. I did turn this one into a sleeve. This one was pretty good time. I like working out, values, tonal values. And I think that helps determine a lot of where your line work is going to go. I think it helps determine your light sources, of course, but I think it also helps with the overall feel and the, the tempo, so to speak, of the piece. Like, is it, slower moving? Is it more stoic? Is it going to be more fast paced? There's going to be a lot of action in it. I think the lighting and line work can kind of merge together to kind of help out with that storytelling. There was a tattoo that this lady had here that we left out. She had like a little swallow that I worked into it, but this is a full sleeve that was pretty fun to do. I like doing marker. Sometimes if I'm just looking for something to draw with, I'll just grab whatever it is there. And that's the way we draw on skin. I remember seeing Guy Atchison do that in his book a long time ago, and it blew me away. So I thought I'd start transferring it over to paper as well. Let's see here. Is the camera on? It looks like my phone's about to die. Hold on one second, guys.
No!
Yeah. Well, I think we got 20%, so we'll keep on rocking in the free world until then. There's another sleeve that I did. That was a guardian angel, battling a demon. He wanted it more like a little bit more gothic, kind of dragon looking. So I don't know. This one was really cartoony. I ended up changing it up quite a bit, but it was good to get the serpent kind of nailed down. you know, I love showing drawings like this to the client because they look at it with this look of fear in their face for a second. And they're like, is that the way it's going to look with all this scratches and stuff everywhere? And you're like, no, dude, no, it's okay. Relax, calm down. I got you. And like, you have to remind them that they saw your work. The reason they're there for you in the first place is because they saw your work already. And you can do what it is that they're looking to get. Let me see here. I got a couple more pieces real fast. And then hopefully if Jason's up to it, we can see some of that skull painting that he's been working on too after this. Let me see here. I'll show you these guys real quick. Here's a girl's head that I drew a while back. And they're turning that into a tattoo as well. This one was fun. I like forms. I like human form. So this one was a good one. And I love centipedes. There for a while, I was really into insects and stuff like that. And I kind of started gravitating towards or away from them after a while. I don't know what it was about them that I liked, but I try to kind of influence, like do some nouveau influence on this one where I had like some simple shapes with some more fine line detail inside of the shape and everything like that. I think I did this one back in what, 2011, maybe 2010 or so. That was pretty fun.
I like that one a lot.
Thank you. Here's one that I drew that this guy never came in for. And I don't know about all you guys, but it's always one of those fun things. And it's good to keep them. You know, it's good to try to keep them. Let me see if I can get this to show a little bit better. Okay. So you can see it. This one's a little more traditional, where there's an eagle down here towards the bottom. And we got some American flag action going on. There's going to be this huge cover up on the back of his tricep. And I think he had some weird tribal thing that didn't go across the arm. It actually went down it. And he wanted all kinds of things. And he talked about an eagle and a woman. And I thought that this would be pretty fun to kind of take a spin off of like an old Taylor Jerry kind of design. But just kind of, you know, change it up a little bit. The face is a little bit large for me. The features are they're delicate, but I think this one was too broad. I'm glad I didn't do it as is. If I would have done it, I would have changed the face up a little bit more on it. But I definitely was looking forward to doing like some real bold lines and real solid color to kind of show that cover up. Here's a really crazy little guy. Interpretation on death. So I was gonna do like this Grim Reaper real huge. I think I'll still do it like 6 feet tall, painting with nothing but like crows, like dead crows, kind of as making the robe or whatever. Let's keep this guy out. There's a unicorn or a battle horse. I'm sorry. I hope you guys can see this. That one's pretty fun. Never did anything with that one either. And of course, I think we all recognize this. I have some shirts out with this girl head on it. That was a fun one. Water. Another charcoal drawing I did. I was playing around with the golden ratio and putting elements inside of the golden ratio really obviously. And I wanted to play around with like just design and form. There's some live drawings that I've done. I got a couple more, and then we'll kind of ask Jason about his picture. This one I really dug. I ended up doing this one as a tattoo. It's like a little water dragon.
Looks like something you were working on today.
Yeah, I love those, like playing around with the little finger rolls and stuff like that on the Japanese kind of style water. And Jason and I worked on a piece that was similar to this idea where it was just nothing but water and a dragon kind of coming out of it. Here's some more of those finger rolls that I like playing with on the corner of the page that I messed around with today. This little funky skull. I actually drew this one. This was fun. My old relationship. I was getting into a discussion. We'll say it was a very involved discussion. And I just sat there and just sketched this up while I heard nothing but noise in the background at that time. So that was fun.
Ricardo, you should put a date on these in case, I mean, just like on the back or something for yourself to remember in case you forget, you know, in the next 10 years or something.
That's a good idea. I think I'll do that. I think I'll run through these and do some of these. This one was 2016. I know that for sure. Another fun one. Going bird morph thing. This one I really wanted to do something with. I liked playing around with the face, and everybody was doing like those lion heads on top of women's heads and stuff like that. So I thought I'd play around with that idea, but just change it up a little bit. There's another little fun guy. Hanya. The water Hanya. There's another. I love the water element. So I'm always trying to do as much as I can with that. There's a little stylized skull. I ended up doing this one as a watercolor painting on a pretty big size watercolor painting. We did a benefit for a tattoo artist that got into a motorcycle accident and he couldn't pay any of his bills. So we took care of all that stuff for him. A few of us got together and did some paintings. This was another spin off that deer thing. That one was a fun one. Let me get my hand out of the way so you can see some lighting. There you go. That's a little bit better, right? Yeah, there we go. This is a fun one. This is when I was really starting to get into the, what is it? That illustrative kind of new school thing. You know what I mean? I was really playing around with like boulder lines and stuff like that, and the softer shapes that make the contours and everything like that. Like, and then like these chunky kind of areas here that make the planes of the face, and you can really see some of the angles and everything like that on it, especially here in the nose and the chin area. And I really wished I could have done this one as a tattoo. If you guys want to do it, let me know. Another water dragon. Yeah. This one was fun one. Weird character. There's more Day of the Dead stuff. I ended up using this as a reference for a cover up. So that one was good. And that's what I was getting to say with all these pictures that I'm showing you, is that like some of these were just sketches that I just sat down and wanted to draw. If any of you guys are, offended by our natural bodies, then don't look at this piece. But I was trying to come up with an idea for a painting a while back, and I was just thumbing around with some old classical images, and I thought this one would be fun. But what I was saying is that you can have all your renderings, all your drawings and stuff like that, and really play around with them. And sometimes people will thumb through your stuff and they'll just, they relate to it on a different way than you even intended for the picture to look, or for what it was purposed for, you know what I mean? And you can create some really fun tattoos and stuff like that. But just by doing that, so you have to, like, the importance of sketching, the very big things that you have to start remembering to do. You have to draw. You have to draw all the time, as much as you can. If you're just sitting down, you find some stuff laying around the house, just pick it up and start drawing on it. No matter what, and keep it a collective of it, because it's always, you never know what it's going to do for you in the long run. There's actually a drawing in here that I used for Lauren, this one, on one of the possibilities for some raw stuff. More dragons. This one was fun. It's pen and ink on paper. That was 2015. So these, Lauren, I did write down some dates on these. 2014. This one's a good one. 2014. 2014. Some of these I've shown already. Pen and ink. I was kind of going through this phase where I just wanted to do a whole sketchbook and nothing but pen and ink. This one is a fun one that I really want to do. A peony skull. And then I'll show these two and then it'll be done. This one was fun. I ended up using some paint markers on top of some pen ink, and it ended up like blurring out accidentally. It ended up creating, like, taking the ink, the blue ink, and kind of smearing it and stuff like that. And I thought I messed it up. I thought I like destroyed this drawing that I did, and I ended up just kind of running with it. And it was a lot of fun discovering what could be done with this thing, and if it was even going to last or anything like that. But it's fun, there's a lot of creative moments in this where I was like tripping out because I thought I destroyed it, but at the same time, loving every second of it at the same time. So, little zombie girl. These are 2016. But yeah, there we go. So that's it. I think there's some random stuff back here. 16. This one's fine. Speaking of like the social media thing, there you go. There you go, Jason.
Yeah.
Fold. It's on fleek. Got the bay going on. Got the electronic cigarette and everything. I thought it was a pretty cool spin. So that's that. But yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of other stuff, but we won't even waste time on that anymore. But I'm just thinking that if you guys could pick up a couple sketchbooks and start filling it up with everything. I've wasted so many hours. I won't say wasted. I've spent so many hours on my iPad recently in this past year alone. I'm kind of scared to look at the time or the amount of time I spent on everything, but it's been productive. But I do miss drawing on paper. I do miss, let me turn this around. I do miss drawing on paper. I do miss that feel of it, the ability that it gives you to freak the fuck out for a second because you think that you've messed everything up, and taking something that it could just be a real loose idea and then make it into something that could be permanent for somebody because they love it, and it wasn't even set out to be that for you. I think it's really cool how you can see like relationships and images and stuff like that for people. So give it a go, guys, and send us some pictures. See what we can do together. But that's it for me. Jason, you're gonna show us your skull real quick if you don't mind. I know you were working on that on Sunday too, weren't you?
Yeah. I just did an additional glaze on one or two areas, just adding some value and refining it a little bit more. I always like to keep a non-photo blue pencil on hand after a specific layer or glaze dries, so that way I can go through and just kind of mark some areas that I want to work back into. And I'll show you. So Sunday I went through, and I know you're probably getting a lot of glare, but I went through and added a little bit more of a glaze to the eye socket, and then this area over here on the left, right by where the cheekbone is. I refined a little bit more of like the back end of like the skull, and added a little bit more of a glaze layer of value there. Tweaked up this eye socket a tiny bit, just to try to really push some subtleties. Cleaned up some edging, didn't really get too much done. And I'm sure as you look at this from an angle, you'll see all the shiny areas. All those shiny areas, all those areas where you have that light reflecting, those are all the areas where I added paint or a glaze. And you can see all the matte areas are areas that are already pretty much dry.
Yeah, looks great, dude.
So yeah, just trying to work on, refining some things. I know that I want to keep this area over here a bit more dark. I still need to finish and refine some edging over here. Where's my blue pencil? I need to work on the bridge of the nose area. I still have a couple of blue marks in here for like some of the little details that I want to put in. I've got some more, and I don't know how well you can see it, but I've got some more blue marks over here inside the nose where I want to add a little bit more bone detail and kind of bring the value out a little bit more, and just really start to go through and refine. I went through and started to add some cracks the other week. So I did a light glaze of like an off-white. It was like a raw umber and white, a warmer tone of white. Just did a very thin light glaze over top of that to kind of push that back and make that a bit more subtle. And now I'm just going through working on the nasal cavity, if you will. And this is one of like 3 different paintings I have going on right now.
What are the other ones?
Well, one of the other ones is like an Art Nouveau piece that's being done on paper as a color study, and that's at the studio. The other one is a flower, which I haven't even actually really started yet, but I have the panel for it. So maybe I'll take a break from this, put this aside, and then start on that one.
Yeah.
You know, I always like to have and then I still have to finish up that goldfish that I was working on a few months ago.
I like that one a lot, man.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. Did you start adding outline to it, or are you going to keep it
No,
without?
not yet. Not yet. I still want to tweak the background a little bit more and add some lighter values to the background to really
Okay.
show, like, because right now the background's kind of black.
Yeah.
You know, it's still pretty flat. I love having those ISO bars, but I know I could do so much more with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really trying to start to push some things. You know, and then just adjust the light and dark values in it. Then, you know, maybe another 2 hours worth of pushing and pulling contrast, tweaking the background, and then I'm just going to call it done. Slap some outlines on it and call it a day.
Yeah, killer. That'd be cool, man. Well, I can't wait to see it, dude. And the skull looks fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it's getting there. It needs some more subtleties, but you know, it's part of what I'm doing now. So
You gotta bust out that big ass brush, that big ass flat brush.
no, I'm using a small round for now, man. I like having, especially now that all my major areas are blocked in, just
Mhm.
going through and refining certain little areas and a little bit more of the detail that's in it. I find using a smaller round is always pretty nice.
Nice, dude.
Or a small flat. Small flats are nice too.
Right on.
I think it all depends on how expressive I'm trying to be with it.
Yeah.
You know, the chunkier you want it, and the more, for lack of a better term, the more expressive you want it to be. I
Mhm.
think using something to bit more squared off can work in your favor. If you're trying to go for something that's a little bit more refined, a little bit more, and I'm not saying you can't get refined with a square brush, but I'm saying a square brush is going to cover a lot of area, right?
Right.
So
Right.
if you're using a square brush, you're blocking stuff in, you know, unless you're working on a massive piece. In that case, yeah, you can use it as a detail brush. But for a lot of like the smaller, more intricate detail areas, I find going back through, just like you would with a tattoo, pull out a small round and just start detailing it. Get in those subtleties, get in those tiny little nuances, you know, that otherwise wouldn't be there. Because you're not trying to blanket a large area at that point in time anymore. You're just trying to put in some nice little subtle details, some tiny little subtle color shifts and tones. And so for me, using a small round for that is far more beneficial.
Right on. I can understand that for sure, man. I definitely see that when it's time to start pushing and pulling things, it's something that helps out quite a bit. I like to do a smaller round that's kind of like, you know, a little bit tighter and it's not as busted up and everything like that. And then I'll get in there with like a dry round brush that's kind of like, you know, it's got a lot of feather to it. It's all torn up and stuff like that. There's a little, you know, some bristles that are kind of uneven and everything like that. But I like that you can really achieve some of that softer kind of effect to it, like where it's like a little more haze or something like that too.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of like a dry brush look.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, and that's really fun to do with oils, especially.
So what I've actually found is by getting a shorter, stiffer bristle brush, it doesn't, you don't have to wait until one of your brushes gets super ratty, although that is the less expensive way to go about doing it. But you know, I've got some small, short bristle brushes like this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super, super short, stiff bristles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great, man. You can feather stuff, tiny little areas you can just feather out real quick, real simple. Just
sounds like the old telephone, man. with
One more
the
time for those in the back.
yeah. Dude, that's
So,
crazy.
but yeah, it's I find using a shorter, stiffer bristle will help you really feather some of that stuff out. You know, if you're not working in like a glazing kind of manner. I find that
Yeah.
when you work with glazing, laying down several translucent layers on top of each other can really kind of help you build a lot of those subtleties, you know, and really help you tone down and de-emphasize certain other aspects of it.
Yeah.
But that's just what I found, you know. And like I said, it's been almost 20 years since I've gotten into oil painting. So this is my first oil painting back after quite a long hiatus. So I'm still remembering the medium, still getting used to the medium again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like it can be sometimes like riding a bike, right? Like the analogy about riding a bike. Like once you learn it, then all you gotta do is just dust it off a little bit, and it takes a second, but then you get back into it. It's really inspiring to me, man. I'm glad to see you painting and stuff like that, dude. It's fucking great. I know when we first talked, you were like more into watercolors primarily more than anything else. So it's awesome to see you get back into oil painting and stuff too, man. You're killing it. It's looking great.
Liquid acrylics and liquid watercolors and stuff like that, man. That's my bread and butter. That's like that's the medium I've chosen to work in for the past 12 years. Like, and I've gotten really proficient at using that, but it's a definite process. You know, it's very much more process oriented. You have to think about things in advance. You have to plan things out in advance. You have to understand that when you're doing a wash of this, it's going to appear a lot later because the paper that you're working on is not toned.
Yeah.
Right? It's not. So if you want a pink and all you have is red, you do a very, very light wash of red and it's pink.
Yeah.
Right? You're using that as your white mix as opposed to actually mixing up a color.
That's interesting.
You know, it's very much like in tattooing, right? Tattoo pigment is translucent to an extent. I mean, it's not very opaque. So when you have a dark black wash and you wash over top of that with, you know, a bright red, that black's going to show through.
Yeah.
You know, so I look at that as a parallel to like the tattoo process. And, you know, that's just my own 2 cents on it. There are obviously people out there that have different opinions, and that's totally fine. But I find that it's very much parallel to my tattoo process. So that's kind of why I like to work in it.
Well, thanks for sharing, man. Lauren, thank you for helping out today. Jason, if you want to give us a sign off real quick, if you don't mind. My phone's going to be dying. I got to get it on the charger here pretty quick. So
sure. My name is Jason Leeser. You can find me on Instagram at Philly Inc. I host these Sunday afternoon drawing groups at 1 p.m. Eastern time on Sundays for the Reinventing the Tattoo community. Any questions, comments, concerns, any advice, any topics of discussion are always welcome. Ricardo, thank you as always for having me on, man. You're always an inspiration. Lauren, you're amazing on too many levels to mention. Yeah, that would probably take me a solid hour to go through that list. But yeah, so you rock. Thank you very much for all of your help. Thank you, Guy and Gabe. Thank you, Bruno and Kier. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate the kind words, man. And same to you, dude. Like, I wouldn't be where I am now, right now, at this moment, without meeting you first. You know what I mean? So it's been pretty bitchin', dude. Thank you. Lauren.
I'm just a catalyst, my friend. I am not the end all be all. I'm just a catalyst.
That's awesome. No truer words, right? Likewise for me too, man. It's awesome, dude, to be around you. So thank you for that. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Lauren, thank you so much for all the help and everything that you do behind the scenes. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Guy Atchison. Much appreciated. And everyone for watching. My name is Ricardo Sturdivant. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. Get at me. You guys take it easy. Peace.